Okay, so the next is a grid layout. It's a grid based layout system with rows and columns. The children of the container automatically becomes grid items. So by using this display grid, will enable the grid based layout in a web page. Okay, so as we see here, we have enabled the grid layout using this display grid property. Then we have defined the grid area, and the name is my area for this item 1 class, which is this div. We have named it as a my area. Then using this grid template areas, we are placing the my area and 3 dot. This means first column and the second column will covered by my area, and there will be 3 more columns in a row. So we see here this item 1 starts on first row and first column, and it ends on start of the third column. So as we see here, my area, this first column and second column is covered by my area. Okay, so the next is grid template rows. This property defines the height of the rows. As we see here, grid template rows. So this will be the height for first row, this will be the height for second row. If we have a rows more than this, I will add here. Suppose 400 pixel for third row, but as we don't have a third row, we won't see this change. Okay, then we have grid template columns, and we have assigned the value as auto. So this means we will have this 4 columns in one row, and the size of the column will be the auto. As we see here, we have rendered the four column in one row. Okay, so as we see here, if we increased one column in a column template, so this will render the 5 columns of same width in a first row and the remaining 3 columns in a second row. So as we see here, 5 columns in a first row and remaining 3 are in a second row. Okay, then next we have grid area. This will define the grid area for specific children. As we see here, we have this item 1 class, as we see here, and we have defined the grid area for this. This is the this contains the grid row start and grid row this grid row start, and this is grid column start, then the row end and the column end. So this means it will start on the second row and first column. This means this point it will start here, second row, first column, and end it will span 2 rows and 3 columns. It will span 2 rows and 3 columns. So this whole area will be covered by this item, which is defined by grid area property. Okay, then we have a gap property. This includes the grid row gap and the grid column gap. This is a shorthand property for that. As we see here, we have mentioned the 50 pixel gap, so it will include the 50 pixel gap in rows and the columns. As you see here, this is 50 pixel gap between rows and the columns.